Hi again then guys, and so we've got another updated Le Mans prototype tune for you today, and this time it's for pretty much the big daddy of the Le Mans prototypes. It's the fastest and most powerful overall. It's the Audi R10 TDi. Now there is of course a stealth model of this car which has the same power, slightly higher PP and weighs a bit less. However, from what I've seen, the stealth model just isn't worth the money. Now, I'm sure there are people who disagree with me, but I've raced people in the stealth model in this car and beaten them. I have literally never lost to the stealth model in my regular R10 TDi, so I just don't see the point of buying it, really. But obviously that's down to personal preference. So, you want your racing soft tyres. Now, with this tune, I haven't made it tons faster than it already was, unlike the other tunes, because it's already a 300 mph machine. Basically what I've done is I've allowed my existing tune to actually turn corners, which is a nice little update really. So for the brakes I've increased the front to 6, you don't have to do that though. For the ride height I've got the rear as low as possible, the front 10mm higher, springs we've got on 17 and 19, dampers on 1 for compression, 3 for extension, anti-roll on 1, camber and toe neutral, as with all of these updated Le Mans tunes. For your gearbox, I don't think I gave this one a gearbox flip, I'm pretty sure I didn't. So you want an auto setting of 298, then for the individual gears you want 2.7, 1.6, 1.1, 800 and 550, with a final drive of 3.3. For the diff, same as usual, low initial torque to reduce wheel spin, high acceleration and low braking. You want your high RPM turbo of course, and your downforce as usual set as low as possible. Traction control is also turned off as always. And so, as I said, my existing tune for this car was already capable of 298 mph, and I have not increased that. It still does 298. However, it holds that speed stronger than my existing tune, and it also has more draft potential now than it used to. If I remember correctly, my older model used to top out at about 312 in slipstream. This model can now do about 317, 318, so it's not a massive increase, but it is an increase, and any increase is a good increase. So 298 under its own power, about 318 in draft. Obviously if you need more draft you can just lower the final drive a bit more and it'll easily go over 320. I mean, if you lower it enough, it'll go over 330 easily. It's certainly got the power and the torque. And I tell you what, if you've never driven this car, the speed and the acceleration that this car gets in slipstream is insane, because it has so much power in a car that weighs virtually nothing. The acceleration is just crazy. Now, as I said, the main difference with this tune is the handling. Because with my existing tune for the car, I already got it to do 298, but the problem was it would not turn the corner at that speed. You had to slow down to like 270, get right down to the bottom of the corner, and even then the car was very, very heavy, and you could forget about using draft because you would just smash straight into the wall. The difference now is, with this slightly revised setup, as you can see, I'm still doing over 290 in the corner and it handles perfectly. So, a significant update for the tune, basically making it go from just a fancy drag car to an actually usable racing machine. I've used this in racing in its current spec with this updated tune, and I have, to date, not lost a single race that I've used this car in, which is pretty good considering it doesn't have NOS. Now, the handling, although much better, as with all of these updated tunes with the nose slightly raised, you do need to remember that obviously you need to be careful about your entry speed into the corners. You can enter the corner at 298 and hold it easily, there's no problem there. What I'm talking about is draft speed, because if you're behind someone doing say 310, you do need to be careful about entering the corner at 310. You may need to let off the throttle a little bit. Now you can improve the handling by lowering the front end, but obviously you will of course lose some top speed. So as with all of these tunes, you have to adjust it to your own personal needs and requirements. But in the setup that it currently is, it's really, really competitive. So if you decide to use this updated tune, I hope you find it fun, and it is most certainly competitive. I personally love using this car. And if you're new to the channel, or just found this helpful in general, feel free to subscribe. I put out new updated tunes pretty often, and new other top speed tunes every day, various other tunes in the week. And as always, thanks for watching.